Now let's get back to the horsemanship challenge.
So let's talk a little bit about what our human nature tells us to do. Typically, when we're sitting on a horse with this much mass, this much power, when this horse gets a little chargy or feels like he's got all this energy and he's got to go, Mother Nature inside of us does not tell us to set our hands down, does it? Now, what happens when we do? Most of the time, if our horse wants to go and we set our hands down, that's exactly what we get. They just take off. But here's what we got to realize. What's the horse thinking about right here? And how do we change what he's thinking? Okay? Because oftentimes we as riders, we put a bridle on, something beyond this one, and all we try to do is we try to use that bridle to manipulate what we can see. And depending on what bridle, as to how much leverage we put on their face, and again, all we're trying to do is manipulate the parts of the horse that we can see. What we've got to really, really pound home is the fact that everything that's going on inside there is the stuff that's going to let us be successful once we start to add a lot of speed to things. Okay? I've got to have my horse on the same page mentally and emotionally as I am. When I start to add that speed, or things are going to just fall apart.
Right.
So let's see if we can really help this horse figure out the idea of slowing the motor. Now, you mentioned in your interview over there what this horse would do with his hip sometimes coming out of that barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're going to start to build more control in this horse's hip, just in the fact that we're asking the hip to disengage. Okay, so as we're working on the motor, we're also building more and more control in the hip. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get short on this rein. Slide your hand down. Now, let's think of it as if we were going. Slide your hand back up where it was. Okay, you've got both reins even. Let's just pretend that we were going around here pretty fast. Okay, what I'd like to see you do is stay better balanced on your horse as far as from here up.
Okay.
Okay? We don't need you leaning out over that saddle horn so much.
Okay.
Okay, so if I'm going to get short enough on my rein that I can reach down to that spot right there, how am I going to get my right hand that short on this right rein without leaning down there to get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm simply going to elevate this hand and bring that spot up to me where I can grab it just like that. Now all you're going to do is you're going to set this hand somewhere between your knee and your hip, on your thigh, somewhere right in there. That looks good. Now, before the feet even get to moving, we'll ask ourselves, is he pulling on it? Okay, if your hand stops and the nose keeps coming, he can put slack in that rein himself. So he can give himself a release if you learn how to hold your hand still and not pull on him. Hand stays put. If the nose keeps coming, he puts slack in the rein. Okay? There again, that's your way of saying it's my responsibility as the rider holding these reins to find that spot that I want you in and hold that position. But then it's your responsibility to give me that soft feel. Go ahead and turn loose of it. Now we want to be very specific with our release. Okay? What I'm going to teach my horse is when I put pressure on this rein or the other rein, that I'm going to hold that spot, I'm going to hold that pressure until he gives to me. But I'm going to say to him right when he gives to me, good job, that's what I was asking for. Now how am I going to say that to him?
Give it back to him.
I'm simply going to release the pressure. Very good. So as we start to play around here, disengaging the hindquarters, I want you to keep in mind what this rein feels like and the other one as you're picking up on it, okay? Now let's get short on this rein again. There you go. Set it on your leg. Good. Now you're going to hold this position. Now, we're going to bring this foot back by the back cinch.
Yeah, you need.
We'll go ahead and turn this horse. Go ahead and keep the nose here.
Nope, sorry. There we go.
I'll push the hip around so they can have a better view of what it looks like. Now, when we're trying to push the hip, okay, we're going to use our foot back here. Now, I call position 3, which is right in front of my rear girth if I have a back cinch. Position 3 rests right here. That's the position that I push to operate this part of my horse. But sometimes position 3 needs to be exaggerated enough that it goes behind the back cinch until that horse gets the idea that position 3 means to move the hip. Okay? You're going to get short on this rein, you're going to rest it on your leg. Sit up straight. I don't want you leaning to this side. There you go. Now you're going to take this foot back by the back cinch, and you're going to add some life to that right leg. Now, I'm watching the steps that your horse gives you with the hindquarters. What's he feel like on that rein? Does he feel soft on the rein, or does he feel like he's pulling on you?
He's pulling a little bit, but not bad.
Okay, the reason this horse, your comment was he's pulling a little bit. The reason he might be leaning on you just a little bit is because he is used to somebody sitting up there pulling on those reins. And right now, you're not pulling on him. You're just holding that spot.
Right.
Saying to him, if you'll give a little bit more, you can have that release you're looking for. Now, can you feel that hip? Can you feel that right hind leg cross and reach up underneath your seat as you're sitting on him?
Yes.
Okay? Now bring this foot back by the back cinch and really push and really step that hip over right there. The more bend I put in my horse's body, the more it will disengage the hip to the outside. So maybe get just a little shorter on your rein right there. Sit up straight. More bend. More bend. Now really push with that right hind leg. There you go. Feel that hip pushing to the outside.
Yeah.
Now, when he feels soft on your leg and he feels soft on your rein, then I want you to turn loose of him and just ride him off. Sit up straight, don't lean to the inside.
Woo.
Sit up straight. There you go. Don't lean to the inside.
There. Nope.
There. Right there, let go of him and ride off. Good. So you sped up there for a second to a trot, and you brought him down in a tighter circle, but you kept your leg there. Okay, so you said to him right there, because your leg didn't go away, you said, I didn't ask for you to speed up. Maybe I asked for more life back here, but not more life with forward motion. Okay, not speeding up to the trot. Now, ease him up to a trot. Let's trot him maybe coming across the arena. Okay, let's slow him down right here with one rein. Get short on your right rein. Set it on your leg. Let go of your outside rein. There you go. Push the hip to the outside. Really push that hip. Is it moving off your leg?
Not so much. He did better to the left. There.
Okay, but I want him to do it at the walk. Now show me he can really move off that leg at the walk. Right there. We got to push back here. We've got to make sure we hit position 3.
Right. There.
Feel the hip
Yep.
there? So
Yep.
what'd you notice me do?
When you pull him
I
tighter.
simply maybe brought my circle around.
Right.
If I'm asking the hip to move, Lisa, and it's not going, it's still stuck in here, then I'm going to make it harder for him to keep it in there by simply bringing the nose more.
That's good.
Okay? I'm
Then
not
he
going to
did it.
tell him he has to, but I'm going to make it harder for him to leave that hip over here to the inside. I come out of that barrel. If that hip's in here, he's going to knock the barrel down with it.
Right.
Okay? Let's make sure we get that hip to move out off that leg when we ask for it.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.